Hi everyone, I'm Angie Bailey,
And I'm Aurora Newton
and today we're going to talk about. Hmm.
on Ask the A-Team.
Oh yeah, that's who we are. This is Ask the A Team.
It's okay, I forgot connections. Second service yesterday, go ahead.
Yeah. What are we going to talk about today, Aurora?
The worker and his wage.
Ooh, the worker and his wage.
The worker and his wage. Is
Yeah.
the worker worth his wage?
Yikes.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. It's a pretty scary thing. I hear people make comments like, I'd work harder if they paid me more. I love that statement. It's like, I'm sorry if you said that. Maybe it does sound judgmental. It is. If you agree to work for a wage,
then you should be working with
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people say, "Oh, I would work 120%." No, there's 100%. There's 100%. Okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I always tell young people, and just talking to people, just working with youth and that sort of thing. Give it all you got. Like if you can't be good at this of what you've been given now, if you can't be good, say at the burger and fry place, right? Then you might have a hard time anywhere else.
That's right.
And so many people have like a bad attitude towards certain kinds of work, or giving it their all. If this isn't my passion, then I'm just here and whatever. Well, if you have agreed to work for that wage and you're not doing it,
it's called stealing.
Mm-hmm, it is.
It really is.
And really, here's the ultimate: is that God sees your heart.
It doesn't matter anything else.
And He sees that what He has entrusted, the little that you have been entrusted with. What are you doing with that? So it's like the talents. It's what have you done with the talents? With however little or however many that you've been entrusted with, what are you doing with them? And a lot of times that is your time. That is your job. That is, even that minimal wage job. Like, what are you doing at that? Because let me tell you, if I'm an employer and I go to look for somebody, I'm going to go. In fact, at one time in my life, I was in management in a particular field, and I knew of a receptionist somewhere else, and she was doing, she wasn't quite a reception. It was in a clerical job, and she did so well at her job, and she did not always going above and beyond. And so this was in a different department, and so when I had something come available, she was the first person that came to mind and so she got a better paying position. She got better hours. She got all of these things, and it was because I remembered her and how well she treated everyone, even though she, like, always above and beyond. And so just like somebody else might see that, God sees that with what we are doing with our thing, and it's like, I'm going to give you more because you did so well with this little.
It's so important, and I'm almost cracking up because I always think about where I started working in the church. And it's one of my favorite stories. It's going in a book someday, but I started scrubbing toilets. And I prayed over all those toilets because I wanted to be the very best that I could be, and I wanted to change people's lives. And that was the opportunity I had at the time, was scrubbing toilets. But I knew that a lot happened, and I think we've talked early on about this. A lot happens in a bathroom.
Yeah.
Lots of tears are shed, lots of secrets are told. A lot happens in a bathroom. So I knew I could pray in those places and bring that about. Now I lead the prayer and encounter department, and I'm a pastor. Like, I never thought that when I started praying for that. My heart was just to transform lives and do what I was doing, work as though I'm working for the Lord and not for men, which is scriptural, So that was my heart. And that really needs to be, and again, if this sounds judgmental, it's really not. But it's where our heart needs to be, the motivation of the heart. I heard someone saying, and I don't know what ministry it was from, but they hire people based on what they see and how people respond to the least of their workers. And that means a lot to me. I think about people that because I don't think of them as the least of our workers. I feel, and I know you do too, like every single person on our team is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone needs help scrubbing a toilet, I'm still going to be there doing it, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll volunteer for that because I know other people don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
There is no least on a team,
Mm-hmm.
just like there's no least in the body.
Mm-hmm.
Just different parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, but this particular, and it's a really well known. I'm pretty sure I know which one it is, but I'm not going to say. But it's a really well known place. But they won't hire people that they've seen treat anyone that's considered a least,
Mm.
you know, unkindly,
Yeah.
or dismissed them
Yeah.
of who they
It
are.
makes me think of that Undercover Boss
Oh, I love
show.
that. Yes.
You know, where they go in and they see, and that also brings up, because I know in that show they have seen people that are really, really, you know, above and beyond,
right,
grade A employees that aren't treated well by other management that they have in there, and so that goes for both too. It's about, you know,
it's a two-way street.
paying people what they're worth.
Right.
And what they do for you and what they bring, and not trying to get like bargain basement, you know, deal on, you know.
Oh, and here's the deal, like seriously on that. If you're going to try to get a bargain basement, if you're going to, you know, not give the worker his wage, you need to think about, is God going to bless you for that?
Yeah.
Like, what is this worker worth?
Right. Right.
You know, and what are you going to sow into that wage for them?
Mhm.
Or are you just trying to cut corners?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because that kind of attitude, and that's what I've seen in that Undercover Boss, that kind of attitude that bleeds into everything, whether good or
does,
bad.
It really
You know,
does.
so whatever is there, it bleeds into everything, and it's like you can't expect to mistreat people on one level and then, you know, expect customers just to be coming from everywhere and everything else to be blessed.
Have
You
a
know,
blessing, yeah.
yeah. So it's all give and take. It's all that balance of being fair, being just, in what you're giving, and it's not. I think there's a way of stewarding well, you know, and not being a cheapskate.
Yeah, it is. You know, it just reminded me, and this was years ago, but I
Mhm.
had a friend who had a business, and they had hired someone that had been that had previously been in prison, and they had dealt drugs and been an alcoholic. Like they had just really struggled with addictions, and this person was amazing. And they worked with me. I was actually in a jewelry store, and so they had hired them on, and they worked with me, and we had this conversation, and they said to me that they were not going to pay them the going rate because they didn't want them to have too much money that they could get back into their addiction. It was insane. Do you know what happened? They had a family, and they didn't pay them what they were worth. And guess what that person did? Now, it doesn't mean that they caused them to do that, but they started dealing. Because they needed the money to for their family. Doesn't make it right, but sometimes in our minds we think, oh, I'm going to save this person from that, when in fact what we're doing is causing them to run towards the very thing we think we're saving them from. So there's just, like, I don't know, it was psycho. Even then it sounded psycho, and it wasn't their fault. But that kind of thinking can really get us in trouble when we think we're trying to protect people.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well,
I know it's
value people.
It's a real showstopper.
It's about
huh?
it's about value. You know, well, even what my husband does in healthcare, it's all about value based, and I hear him talking about that, and I think we all need to be, you know, and not notice I say value based and not like bargain based. You know, and it's about getting quality. It's about getting value, and that's giving value to people, and that's getting value out of people at the same time, because what you put into them, you will get out of them.
Good or bad.
Good or bad. Yeah, absolutely. Well, if this has helped you in any way, you guys, whether you feel valued or undervalued or anything like that, know that God values you.
He sure does.
And that, you know, you take those talents and you invest and you do everything that you can within your power, just to be the best that you can be at everything that you go to do. But if this
work is though you're working for the Lord.
That's right.
And not for men.
Absolutely. If this has helped you in any way or can help anyone that you know or love, please like and share, and don't forget to follow Ask the A Team.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.